Okay. I
All
would
right.
like to say good afternoon to everybody. Thank you so much for joining our Success Series presentation on today. Today's topic is how to choose a career path and understand your program of study. Um, Today's presenter is Ms. Troylynn. You guys have heard from her before if you've attended these Success Series presentations, and I'm sure that she has some very valuable information for you all. Please be reminded that these sessions are recorded. The only way that you will be present on the recording is if you have your camera on and if you speak. If you do not speak during the presentation, then you will not show up on the recording. So we just want to make sure that everyone is aware of that. For the most part, the recording will pick up the presentation and the presenter. And that way you guys can go back and look at this information at a later time if you would like to. Be sure that you're checking our Success Coach webpage because we have all of the archive videos from our events and also the Success Series presentations on that webpage. Okay, so without further delay, I'm going to go ahead and turn the floor over to Ms. Troylynn so that she can begin her presentation. Be reminded that you are able to utilize the chat if you have comments or questions. And then at the end of the presentation, or if she asks a question throughout the presentation, we will allow you to unmute to answer questions or ask questions at the end. All right. So Ms. Treylin, the floor is yours.
Thank you. All right. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to this success seminar on how to choose a career and understand your program of study. Over 80% of students will change their major while they are in college, and many students will change their major more than 2 or 3 times. Why? Students may find a new major that supports their interest. Another reason students change their major is because they need a more practical career. For example, one that is going to pay the bills. Students also changed majors because they were not asked the appropriate questions during the initial admissions intake process. And probably um, the most the most reason why students change their majors is because of outside influences. All right, those outside influences can come from TV. Sure, Grey's Anatomy and Law and Order may seem like they're pretty cool jobs when you're watching it on TV, but what's that job really like in reality? Um, Community influences can also be outside influences such as your teachers, your pharmacists. They may look like they are very comfortable in their careers, but is that the right career field for you? Friends and family also. Unless they've done some extensive career research and career planning, they may or may not be a good resource in determining which career field would be best for you. In order, the most biggest influence or the opinion that matters the most is your own opinion when it comes down to choosing your career. Um, to determine what career works for you, you want to think about your values and your own personal goals. All right. So we are going to do a quick little activity. If you have a pen and paper handy, you want to go ahead and take that out. I want you to start thinking about your values and I want you to set some clear goals. Your goals should be so clear that a child should be able to understand them. And then your values can be anything that it could be material things or it could be like things like your friends and family. So for this activity, make sure you have a pen and paper handy. You are going to take 30 seconds. I want you to write 5 of your top values. Are you guys ready? Because we're getting ready to write these values down. Here we go. 30 seconds. Think about your values. They don't all have to be material things. They don't all have to be, realistic things. It's what is valuable to you, things that you find the most valuable. 30 seconds. 13, 12, 11. The countdown is continuing. Come on. Y'all write them down. Okay, time's up. All right. So now that you have written down your values, I want you to list your top 3 goals in 30 seconds. Let's go. 30 seconds. Your top 3 goals. Your top 3. Okay, time's up. All right. So the reason why I wanted you to do that in 30 seconds is because studies have shown that when given 30 seconds to write down your values and your goals, it's going to be just as accurate as if you were given 3 hours to write down those values and goals. And the reason for that is because if it's very important to you, you're going to be thinking about it all the time. So that's why it's important to consider your own values and your own goals when determining a career. You also want to start thinking about some career assessment. So the first step in career assessment is to determine your interests. All right. What do you like to do? What you are good at? All right. You can ask yourself, what skills do I have? Which skills do I want to develop? Um, what is important to me? What sparks my curiosity? All right. And sure, this may sound very selfish, but it is okay to be selfish when you're determining your career because you are going to be working in that job. Once you finish your degree program and you get a job in that field, you're going to be the one doing the work, not your parents, not your friends, not your teachers. It's going to be based on you. So you want to determine those skills and those interests based on your personal interest. You also want to do some research of that career. All right. So ask yourself, what careers what are some examples of careers in my current major? You want to start researching those careers. How can I learn more about those careers? What resources can I use? All right, internships are great. You do not have to wait until your junior or senior year to start networking with people who are already doing the work in your field. Um, you can start researching those careers right away. You can start apprenticeships right away in order to determine if that is going to be a good fit for you. And then once you have discovered your everything about yourself, once you have learned what your interests are, you've done the research, you want to start planning your goals. So they can be short term goals and long term goals, but you want to consider your career objectives. Do you want to start in an entry level position and work your way up? Or do you want to go straight into management? But those are some goals and things that you want to consider. You also want to think about the job market. Is that, will that be a suitable work environment for you? Does the area where I live offer the career that I want to pursue? All right, so those are some things you can think about when you're goal planning. Now, next, we are going to visit our career services page so we can do some career exploration and some more career planning. So, if you are following along, you can minimize the screen and go to the North Shore Community College website, and you can click on students, and then you want to go to career services. Now, if you are using your cell phone and you have the app downloaded, you can click on the career services tab and it will bring you to that page. What we're going to be using today is the career coach. So you're going to click on career coach. And if you are using the app, career coach is actually going to be towards the bottom. I'm going to give y'all some time to get that together, just a few minutes or so. If I'm going too fast, please let me know. I'm going to pull up the chat just to see. Okay, so far so good. All right. So once you get into Career Coach, click on Career Coach. And it brings you to our career coach page where you can discover majors and in-demand careers and education based on your personal interests. So the first thing you need to do is to take the career assessment. Now, it's very important that when you do take this career assessment, you answer the questions. You don't want to answer all the questions with the same answer. For the sake of time, we're going to do the quick start assessment. It's 6 questions long, but there is also a more detailed assessment if you have time to take that later. But for now, we're going to do the quick start assessment. And it's 6 questions. So you can click on that. You want to answer these questions truthfully. And you want to think about your personal interests. You don't have to worry about if you don't have the education or the training to do the job, because as a student, you are going to learn those skills. If you're interested in it and you're passionate about it, you can learn those skills. And then also, you don't want to think about how much money you're going to be making in that career field, because if you are doing something you love, the money is not going to be that big of a deal. Okay. So let's go ahead and start with this assessment if you guys are following along. I hit continue. All right, so as you can see, the answer choices range from strongly disagree to strongly agree. So the first question is, would you like to work hands-on with objects, machines, tools, plants, or animals, work and play outside, use your physical or athletic abilities? Now, what's great about this assessment is you can't fail it. All right, the only way you can do not so great on this assessment is if you choose the same answer over and over, then you probably won't get any results. But do not use my answer choices, use your own answer choices. All right. All right, the next question: observe, learn, analyze, evaluate, or solve problems, questions, and explore physical, biological, or cultural happenings. You would like to express yourself creatively, use imagination or intuition. Feel free to be inventive without limits. You would like to inform, enlighten, help, teach, counsel, or cure people. Use your skills with words to serve people. You would like to influence, persuade, lead, or manage. Reach your personal or organizational goals. You would like to work with facts, numbers, details, follow directions to organize, plan, and complete a project or task. I don't like numbers. That's why I put strongly agree. That's not my favorite thing. All right. So once you are done with the assessment, your top 3 personality traits are going to be displayed. In the chat, once you have your top 3 personality traits, you can type them in the chat, and I want you to tell me yes or no if you feel like they were accurate or not. For me, I've been taking personality and career assessments since high school, and they've been pretty spot on. I've always gotten artistic, realistic, and social. Okay, I'm very expressive, so those always come up. Let me go to the chat. Not seeing any responses yet, but go ahead if you feel like they were pretty spot on. Go ahead and put that. Okay, Miss Celeste Adams, investigative, social, and enterprising. Wow, do you feel like that's pretty accurate for you? Yes or no?
Hello, that's me.
Okay.
Yes, investigative and social, yes. Enterprising, not so much.
Yeah.
But investigative and social, definitely.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else?
Welcome.
All right. Okay. So moving right along, I don't want to not give everybody a chance to speak, but of course, if you have any questions or comments, you can always email a success coach and we'd be happy to assist you with that. All right. So also on the career coach, it lists your top career matches. And for me, of course, education and training came back 100%. It does all the time. All right, then arts, audio, video, technology, and communications. I'm not too sure about the technology part, but I do like making the videos and I like participating in the videos. But when it comes down to sharing and all that, I'm not too crazy about that. But to do that career exploration and to further understand your program of study, you want to go in and you want to click um, on that field. And in Career Coach, it will give you a detailed description of the career. It's loading, it's thinking. The wonderful weather that we're having. All right, here we go. All right. So you can see the median salary. So that's the average salary. If you click on it, you can also see the annual job openings that they have in that profession. And with our career coach on the North Shore website, it shows the available programs. Now, we do not have a teacher certification program here at North Shore, but we do have a university transfer pathway to where you can transfer. Once you get your associate in general studies or another field, you can go ahead and transfer and get your teaching certification at a 4-year university. Now, let's say we matched with a career that we do offer at North Shore. I'm going to scroll down to law and public safety because I know for sure we have a criminal justice program. All right, so we're going to go down to law enforcement and services. It's loaded. Okay. Click on that. You see the median salary. And you also want to think that the cost of living in Louisiana is definitely less than other states. So also always do a more extensive search if your salary is very important to you. You may want to do a Google search or research the occupational Outlook handbook to see if that is accurate for the state of Louisiana or any other state that you are choosing to go into. All right, it shows the available programs that we have at North Shore Community College. And then you can go to view that program info. So to further understand your program of study, whether you're researching a program at North Shore or if you're researching a program at a different school, you want to make sure you are viewing that website's programs page. Right, and then that curriculum sheet is probably the most important thing because it lists all of the classes that you need in order to get a degree in that field. So if you are working towards an associate's degree, you will have that general education component. And you're probably like, well, I'm going to school for criminal justice. Why do I need to take a math class or an English class or whatever? All right, this helps your critical thinking skills. It helps improve your critical thinking skills. And it also prepares you for the rigorous coursework that you will encounter when you do pursue a higher degree, such as your bachelor's or master's. Once you have those general education components under your belt, you will be more prepared and you will be successful in those areas. Your required courses are what directly relate to the work that you're going to be doing in the field. So let's look at criminal investigation. You can click on the course number, and then it pulls up a description of that class. It says topics include investigative practices in apprehending suspects, preparing criminal cases, gathering and analyzing evidence, and so on and so forth. Okay. All right. So at NTCC, we have several different programs for you to choose from. Of course, if you have any questions about a program, you can always ask a member of Student Services and we'd be happy to assist you. If someone would like us to kind of go over a career that they're interested in or a program that they're interested in here at NTCC, you can type it in the chat or you can unmute yourself and I'd be happy to display that program for you on the screen. But if not, you can always refer to our career services page. Ms. Dakota is a wonderful resource. If you need any type of assistance with career planning or job search, resume building, our career services is wonderful for that. Feel free to continue to visit the Success Coach page for more information on tips of staying on track with your program. And if you have not set up an advising appointment with your academic advisor so you can register for your summer or fall classes, now is a great time to do that. Now is a great time to start thinking about those classes that you want to take in the summer or fall. Any questions?
Okay, you have one question from Celeste. Celeste, you can go ahead and ask your question.
Yes, ma'am. I have a question. I'm actually a faculty member here at NTCC, and I have decided to go back to school to work on my master's degree. I'm just curious, is there any resources for faculty that may be going to advance their degree on here? Or is this strictly student-based?
It is very student-based. Here and there, we do receive emails for faculty for different master's programs and doctoral programs if we want to go into those programs. But I say continue to check your emails. I find that from working here, I've learned so much about the different resources that are offered in the community. Dr. Christie, do you know of anything that would help her with her master's program?
There's a couple of things. We do have partnerships with a couple of institutions through the Louisiana Community and Technical College system for things like tuition reduction and those types of things. We also have some employee programs where the college will support if you put in the application for some support for your education and your advancement, as long as it's related to your position here. And then also, when I was working through my doctoral degree, the best resources that I found while I was studying, while being an employee here, was through our library. A lot of my research materials and different things that I had to do for my classes, I was able to find through the North Shore Library, even better than I was able to find through the university library. So I would say probably 60% of the articles in my dissertation came through North Shore's Gator Library, not the university's library. So yeah, so I would say definitely utilize those resources that you have access to as a faculty member. And then, of course, Human Resources is also willing, and even myself are willing to answer any questions you may have about any types of programs that we have to support our faculty and staff as they are pursuing their education. And we can also tell you what institutions we have partnerships with that offer that tuition reduction and all of those things.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And congratulations on going back to school. We wish you the best. You're going to do it. I mean, it's hard work, but you can do it. You got it. All right. Do we have any other questions, comments? Let me see. All right, Miss Beth Alford. My results, education and training 100%, then finance, investigative, conventional, social. Thank you. Pretty accurate for only 6 questions. I teach math. Yes, definitely. I think so too. I think it is pretty accurate for only 6 questions. Now, I did take it, and that's how I kind of discovered that if you put the same answer every time, it's not going to give you any results. So I think for students who may be unsure, we could probably just recommend that they see Dakota or try the 60 question assessment. That'll probably be better for them.
I would recommend that if they would take the longer assessment because the questions are a little bit more in depth. The shorter one is very accurate, but again, if you haven't anybody who's hitting that wall, then they probably need to take the more in-depth assessment to get a more accurate picture.
Yeah. All right. Yes, would love to see this as part of, yes, I think so. I mean, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yes. Definitely something that instructors can incorporate in the lesson. I say go for it.
Okay. If we don't have any other questions, I'm looking in the chat. I don't see any other hands raised. We would like to thank each of you for joining us for the session today. Thank you so much, Troylynn, for walking through that assessment. We have kind of talked about career exploration a little bit, but this kind of helps us to see exactly what that looks like and exactly how to utilize the resources that we have and the importance of just taking the time to kind of explore and think about those interests and reach out for help if you're not sure, if you're struggling to figure out what career path you should be on or what your interests are. We are here to help you. Mr. Dakota is here to help you. Our student services team members, our success coaches are all here to help you to try to navigate that because really more often than you think, many individuals are not sure, not clear on what that future should look like. So this particular topic is very important, and I think definitely with what Ms. Beth said, incorporating this with our students early on in those success courses will probably be beneficial as well to kind of start unplugging some of those things and looking at some of those options early on. So we thank you for your presentation today, Troylynn. We thank each of you for joining in for today's presentation. Again, we will be updating the website to upload presentations that have been presented in the past. Make sure that you refer back to them. Make sure that if you have friends that you know could benefit from these series who maybe did not get a chance to see them, faculty, if you have students that you would like to share the series with, you can always share those links from our webpage. And we hope that you enjoyed today's session. We have one more session for the semester, not next week, but the following week. We have one more session for the semester. And so we hope that you all will join in with us when we close out the semester for our success series. So we hope to see you guys soon. Take care.
All right, y'all take care.